What's up guys, welcome back to the next video on learning R language. My name is QTS Dani and you guys watching my channel Cryowood. Alright, so in the previous video we have seen how we're going to create a matrix, two-dimensional matrix. So the matrix is two-dimensional array of data elements of the same type. Alright, so there are many ways that we create a matrix. So this was the only way, so I have shown you guys, so I'm going to put a little bit up. So we go with the n rows and columns. Say we have a matrix of say for example mat A, and as I have shown you guys, we can use the matrix. So and then we go with 1 and we go with n rows. And rows, say for example we do 2 by 2 and n col. Say we go with 2 for example. So now my matrix A is 2 by 2 matrix. If you guys looking here, so it's got 2 rows and 2 columns. Or you guys you can use sequential numeric vectors with as I've shown you guys. Say you guys got a mat say B, and you guys, we're gonna put a matrix, and our matrix gonna be say from sequential numeric vectors from 1 say for example till 5. We can do 3 by 3, say for example, or 5 by 5, 1 to 25, and say we put an n row to 5 and col to 5. So for example, if you guys want to do from 1 to 9, you guys needs to put your n row to 3 and col by 3, and by row is equal to 2 by row is equal to 2. Alright, so now my matrix B is 5 by 5. If you guys look in here, 5 column and 5 rows. Alright, so what's the other way? So if you guys maybe seen somewhere else, maybe if you guys see that yes, Danny show me this way, but I've seen the other ways people use the rbind. So we've got a rbind in our cbind. So it stands for row bind and column bind. So I'm going to show you guys how we're going to create our matrix with row bind, rbind and cbind, for example. Okay, so we put it here, creating matrix with rbind and row bind. Sorry, cbind. Okay, so we're gonna come here. This rbind and cbinds are inbuilt R functions. So we're gonna come here and we're gonna see how we're gonna create. We have say for example, if you guys can put a vector. Say for example, wood 1, wood A is my first vector. Say it's from 1 to 5, and my wood B is the second vector, wood B, and I'm gonna put it the other way around, 5 to 1. Okay, so now my wood A is going to go from 1 to 5, and wood B is going to do the other way around, 5 to 1. And how about I'm gonna go rbind? So we're gonna bind the two vectors. So we're gonna say for example, we're gonna name it mat A, mat B, mat A, mat B. We're gonna say MC for example, MC. Don't that's our just made up name. You guys can put anything else, Corio C maybe. You guys can put a Corio, and you guys rbind on Corio. Rbind, and you guys need to put your wood A, which is your first vector, and you guys can put your wood B, which is your second vector. So you guys can see for example Corio, and you guys looking here, you've got a now 5 by 5, and there is 2 rows and 5 columns. So if you guys look in here, We've done the rbind, and you guys can do column bind as well. And you guys can name this Corayo R. So that's Corayo R. I'm gonna name it Corayo R to make it a lot easier, so you guys remember that rbind and cbind with your vectors. So you have Corayo R, that's your the first one, rbind, and now we're gonna put a Corayo C. So you guys remember that that's cbind. Corayo R, and now we're gonna do Corayo C, cbind, and you guys can put a cbind. We've done the rbind, and now we're gonna cbind. And if you guys looking here, that's inbuilt R function, and we can put our vector A, which is wood A, and we can do wood B. So this is the second way. And if you guys look in here, Corayo C, which is cbind, and if you guys look in here, is column. So 1 2 3 4 5 all the way here, wood A, wood B. So if you guys look in here, you guys can see the difference. That's rbind, and this guy is here, that's a cbind. So this is a different way of creating. So don't assume there is only one way of you guys thinking that you guys can create. By all means, by the metrics here that we have shown you guys previously, this you guys can in the next video we're gonna do our arithmetic operations on our matrices. So you guys can perform subtraction, multiplication, addition, and you guys can do your logical operators on metrics. And I'm just showing this is the different ways of you guys. If you guys want to play around with your vectors, you guys can create your vectors. So this is one way. If you guys can want to create, that's you can create like this too with n row n col. So this is the next way. If you guys can put R binding, our C binding, you guys can do this one. If you look at here, and you guys can play around, you guys can create a 3 by 3 matrix. You guys can vectors, so you guys can put 1 to 3, 3 to 1. You guys can do like that. So it goes 1 to 4, from 1 to 5, and it goes from 5 to 1. You guys can play around with the sequential numeric vectors, and so far we know that the matrix is a two-dimensional arrangement of vectors. So we have the vectors here. We have proven to you guys here. We have two vectors, so wood A and wood B. You guys can do vector A and vector B. You guys can do that, no problem. The reason I've done that wood A is show you guys that you guys can name it anything you guys like. You guys don't have to name it matrix A or matrix B. Our vectors A or vector B, you guys can create anything. You can use your name. So while you're doing this, it's a lot easier for you guys to remember, because if you guys put your names, that's a trick. If you guys put your names, or if you guys put the name of the place of your birth, or name of your town or something, this is going to be a lot easier for you guys to remember emotionally, because every time you're going to come into R, and you're going to remember the matrices with the name of the place, or name of the, say this is my channel, that's what I put it. So you guys can put any other names if you like. You guys can create your surname, whatever name you guys want to put inside the vector, doesn't matter. The computers only know whatever the names you guys put it here, the assignment, what you guys assign. So that's rbind and that's cbind, and you guys can check it as well if it's metrics. So if you guys can put it is metrics, I'm going to say it again, since metrics is a two-dimensional arrangement of vectors, so you guys even create metrics with arrays function, and then you guys need to specify the two dimensions. Say for example, you guys Corayo C, Corayo AR, Corayo C, and Corayo say array, for example Corayo array, because we are creating array, and it's gonna be array. And what's our array is gonna be? Our array is gonna be from 1 to 5. Our 1 to, say for example 1 to 9, 1 to 25, whatever you guys want to create it. So now we're gonna create 1 to say 25, that will I created before. And what's the dimension is going to be? The dimension is going to be 5 and 5. So this is the dimension. And now Corayo array, and if you guys look in here, the dimension is 5. So you guys can create with the array. Is if you guys, it's a totally, so maybe it's totally surprising for some people, because in the previous video we have used the metrics with this ones and row and call. So you guys can put a 5 5. You guys can do this and call this one. This guy is looking here, and from 1 to 5, and this guy is looking here. It's exactly the same. Look at here. This guy is counting row wise, and this guy is counting column wise, but it's exactly 5 rows 5 columns. So we created with the array function, with the inbuilt array function. We didn't use the metrics. So you guys can do, there are 3 ways. So you guys there are more than ways. You guys can create a matrix, you guys can create a rbind, cbind, and you guys can create with array. And if you guys want to check your metrics, if it's metrics or not, so you guys can come and see here, met A and met B, matrix A and matrix B. If you can put is dot metrics, say what's our metrics here, the metrics first one, met A, we can put a met A. Is it metrics? Yes. And what about the met B? Is it metrics? Yes, that's true. So say for example you guys can put a is metrics, the unknown met F, and you guys gonna get it false, because R straight away knows that this met F not found, because there is no such thing as met F. If you guys want to find out the number of columns and rows, you guys can use end row or end call function. So for example you guys can do the other way around. You guys can do end row, and you guys can put your met A. You guys can do met A, and you guys see the number of rows is 2. And if you guys look at here, the met B, and you guys look in here, and it's 5. And if you guys can here call number of columns, so end call, so we do end call, and we zoom met A, matrix A, and you guys look in here is 2. And what about the metric B, matrix B? So met B, and you guys looking here is 5. So if you guys go to come here, the met B is 5. All right, so this there are different tricks with the creating metrics. So you guys keep practicing. There are 3 ways. So we have used the first one, which I've shown you guys in the previous video, with the end row and column, and by row is equal to true or false, and you guys can manipulate that one. Then you guys can do with rbind, cbind, and you guys can do with array. So you guys can do with the dimension. You guys check the dimension 125. You guys want to do from 1 to 9. Our dimension is equal to combined still 3 3. You guys can do that. So you guys can do that, but make sure your metrics, if you guys want to say 9, is going to be 3 3. So 1 to 9. If you guys want to 4 is 1 to 16, then 4 4. Then that's how you guys going to be the perfect metrics. Otherwise you guys are going to get an error that we have shown you, I think, the last videos. If it's out of bound, or if it's not recognized, or is not fitting inside the metrics, then you guys are going to get an error. Alright guys, in the next video we're going to show you guys how we're going to perform the arithmetic operations on matrices. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you guys got any question or comments, leave it in the comment box. Otherwise I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.